Hello everyone, this is Boricua Banks and welcome back to Let's Play Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. In the last episode, we finished our investigation for this case, I believe. We are done. So now it's all gonna come down to the last day of the trial, and we're gonna have to prove that, what's his name, Mr. Fake Phoenix, uh, Don Tigre, that we have to prove that he did it. And unfortunately, Viola helped him. But I think she feels bad about that now, because even she called him evil. And that's saying something. Alright, so let's continue on. Let's finish this case once and for all. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so done. I'm so ready to be done with this. Alright. January 8th, 9:46 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and then ended on a giant mystery. That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. Even though I just got the heck kicked out of me. But Gumshoe saved the day, so thank God for Gumshoe. I saw that. That little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You'd better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger. Don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you.
Hey, pal!
Gumshoe, my hero. How are you today, my little, nugget? Why did I just call him a nugget? I have no idea, at all. Oop, let me... my microphone. Okay, sorry about that. Hey, Detective Gumshoe.
Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that.
How did you know she was stressed?
I was watching through the doorway.
Oh. Aww.
You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this'll help.
Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too?
Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing.
Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles.
This is a small bottle that turned up in Trey Bien's kitchen a couple days ago.
Yep. Yeah, we found it. Finally, we get some information. Okay. Yeah, alright. Long flashback is long. Okay.
We finally got the analysis results back from the lab.
So, what is it? Is it the poison?
I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication.
Medication?
Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently.
The missing medication. So how did that end up in the kitchen? For ears? You mean...
Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum.
What was Glenn Elg's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Alright. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that?
Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle.
Oh, come on, they had it for days.
Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but...
That's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence.
Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, got it?
No sperm getting through my defense. I'm just kidding. Sorry, I couldn't resist. today's trial, I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done, or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. Well, considering he claims his name was Phoenix Wright, no, I'm just kidding. I was gonna say maybe you aren't Phoenix Wright. Maybe you are Zinny Yoop.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor.
Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems.
The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand.
Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear.
It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick?
Mm-hmm. That means something's up.
Huh. Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it.
You've lost me already, Mr. Godot.
Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules.
Okay, he has a point, but still.
Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions?
You know the answers to these riddles.
Oh no, it was the judge. I'm sorry.
You know the answers to these riddles?
The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here, he was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it.
Okay.
Very well. Let the first witness take the stand.
Who is it? No!
And you are?
Oh, bonjour, everyone. I am John Armstrong, the owner of and head chef of Le Très Bien Restaurant. Enchanté.
Everybody's like, oh my god. I'm so frazzled already just seeing him. Her. I don't know. Are we supposed to like address him as a her? Because even he said he's a little girl and stuff. So is this someone who is transgender and they see themselves as female? I don't know. Like, they never clarify. They kind of play it up for laughs, which, yeah, it's funny, but it's also like, can't they address it a little seriously at some point and be like, okay, we should be respectful and say him, or we should say her, pertaining to whatever they would like to call themselves, you know? I don't know. It's still funny, but it's like, a little in poor taste right now.
Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman?
Exactly! Game, let's clarify this.
Oh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am leopard and perky gentleman known.
What? But you said you were a little girl and a woman and you are you non-binary? What are you? I want answers. Unless you're just avoiding labels? Oh, okay. Maybe it just depends on your mood. Oh well, I guess it doesn't really matter.
On the day of the incident, you were in Très Bien's kitchen. Isn't that right?
With you, monsieur.
Oh?
Everything feels right.
He's like, are you flirting with me? Is he fascinated? Is he disgusted? Is he flattered? I don't know. All he did was shake his head, take a sip of coffee, and he's like, ha! He's like, yeah, keep flirting. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Okay, okay. He's like, I'm used to being flirted with because I'm hot. Like, I'm like hotter than my coffee. Okay.
Very well, your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Travian.
Oh my god, Judge. Why is it every time I do your voice I gotta yawn? You're so annoying.
Oui, volontiers.
Okay. That's très bien. I'm still mad at you, Armstrong. Cause you punched poor Phoenix. That's not nice.
When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new articles that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. La cup, la earpiece, and la glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, no?
Mirror? Oh no. How convenient.
Oui, un grand mirror, la most enormous mirror.
And suddenly, the mystery disappears.
Well, there goes that.
Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it.
Ah, darn it.
That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front.
What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Okay, let's see. I think we had to press. And who were the 2 customers exactly?
May, of course, the young man who died, and the other not so young man.
You are referring to yesterday's witness, I presume.
What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence.
We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we?
I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. Okay. Some new art. Having a large mirror. Okay. How big of a mirror are we talking about here?
Both?
Boff. What is that? Huh.
Both something about 4 meters wide and, oui, about 2 meters high.
Let's see. If 1 meter is about 1 yard. Holy glass in a frame. That's huge.
I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually.
The ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. I don't think so.
Mais no, but I decided not to go through with it in the end.
What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? Yeah. Need details. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies.
But,
You didn't ask, Trite. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work.
What?
A mirror was delivered to Très Bien the day before the incident.
Really?
As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end.
This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Trey Bien, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime.
Huh. If you want to doubt someone, Trite, look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough.
Burn.
So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror.
Perhaps that's what the old man was looking at? Cup would have seen everything in reverse. Cup, earpiece, glass. Everything? He would have seen everything in reverse?
Hey, Nick, we should take a second, think about what old CD said in his testimony.
How did he phrase it again? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. Which is, it's on his left. It was his left ear. So the specs was correct? Left. So everything he saw was the left. But the glasses is correct on the left. The only ones we're saying that should be wrong would be that the cup is supposed to be on the right and the earpiece is supposed to be on the right.
If he saw everything he described reflected in a mirror, then everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh?
And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it?
Huh!
It's kind of hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but
Do you think old CD saw everything through a reflection?
if he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony.
But that just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We've just gotta dig deeper.
Okay, so like we just said, everything, no, because of the, wait. No, we only have that. I guess, did we just present the, all I could think is to present this. Left eardrum was ruptured. Yeah, okay. That was really simple. I was kind of like, it's too simple. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? Okay, same side. We just saw that. So, to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side.
Exactement. You see, monsieur, now that you think about it, it is not so hard, non?
Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? And why didn't Godot notice this issue?
Order, order! Mr. Wright is correct.
It would have been funny if he said Mr. Right is right.
If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye.
Godot, come on, man.
How bitter. Trite, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time.
Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different?
You don't understand the way the witness thinks.
How he thinks.
You remember this, I presume.
The I broke the vase sorry apology Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony?
Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg?
Clearly it's the victim's eyepiece.
And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear.
Kudo, please. Even the music.
Huh. Well, trite.
Ugh. That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever.
Wow, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Godot's good.
Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash.
A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears.
Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at the plans of the restaurant.
Okay. Well, we will do that in the next episode. I need a break from this dude. He's something else. Okay. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this, and until next time, have a nice day. Bye!